Welcome back to another video. It is Tuesday afternoon, it's 3:30. My days feel so out of whack because I'm cramming my training days in this week before I go away this weekend. I have no idea what day we're on. It's been a really lovely day. It's heat wave time in the UK. It's like 30 degrees right now, which for the UK is hot. I don't want to hear anything otherwise. But I'm feeling good. I'm excited to train. I feel good in myself. I'm out for dinner tonight for my partner's birthday. So kind of getting training done in good time. Had a really productive work day. Feel very mentally in a good spot. I think after last week's stress and yesterday was just a super busy work day, things just feel a little bit calmer. I feel a bit more centered and back into routine. Now, having said that, I am away this weekend at a comp all weekend, but obviously that's not unusual for me. So that's not anything that I'm kind of worried over. And I'm feeling pretty good about getting my training and stuff done before I go as well. I will say my lower back is still feeling a little bit unhappy. It's probably the best way to describe it. Today is nothing heavy though. So I have made a small tweak to my training block that I just did. So if you don't know, I've just run a 3-week training block as my first block back to being self-coached. Now I'm going back into being self-coached. My next competition, if I do decide to do it, will be British Nationals in December. I most likely will, but if I find myself in this really good momentum of this kind of off-season mentality, I'm just going to ride that wave and just keep building, basically, is kind of what I've decided. But yeah, I've just done a 3-week intro block where I was trialing some new smaller movements, reintroducing some lower body accessories that I've had to take out and avoiding areas that, I basically was dealing with a hamstring injury and my lower back also flared up just as I was going into bench press worlds at the end of June, I want to say. No, it's the end of June now, at the end of May. I don't know. My timeline is off. Anyway, basically a 3-week block. Tried a few movements, bringing some more lower body work in because we've essentially been doing no lower body work for months because of my hamstring issue that I was dealing with. And then my lower back decided to flare up as well just before bench worlds. So this last 3 weeks has very much just been a bit of a experiment. There were areas that I knew I needed to target, but it was how am I going to be able to target these? Am I going to be able to add load to these without causing re-aggravation? And thankfully, I have managed to get through the last 3 weeks without aggravating my hamstring any further, and it feels pretty much back to normal, which is great. My lower back, I'm not concerned about. I think it's just a little bit of a strain issue, and I think it will be absolutely fine to just continue training through as long as I'm sensible. But what I've done for this block is I've made the decision to take out conventional deadlifts. So for anyone that doesn't know, my deadlift has been my problem child for years, and I'm very aware that I do have certain weaknesses that will obviously be part of that. But my deadlift itself has just always been a problem child. It's just naturally my worst lift to do with how I'm built, to do with a lot of things. But we all have one lift that isn't necessarily as good as the others. And for me, that has been my deadlift. And obviously, I want to change that. And last year, I randomly was like, do you know what? I've had enough of conventional. I'm going to try sumo. I pulled sumo when I was younger for a bit, but I never really had the patience to properly dial in my technique when I was younger. So when I look at old clips of me pulling sumo, it was awful. So basically last summer I decided to run both, and then 8 weeks out from British Nationals, back in December, committed to sumo. Since then, with my injury and everything getting so much worse, I've kind of been in between. I've had a lot of people, including the coach that I was working with up until recently, who is still a very good friend, and I still absolutely respect their advice. He's leaning more towards me pulling sumo. I've got other friends that are coaches that have said the same thing. Not sumo, conventional. They're leaning towards me pulling conventional. However, I think sumo is the one. So I've made the executive decision for this block, for this next 6 weeks, I am all in on sumo. So I'm doing 2 3-week blocks. I'm all in on sumo. I'm going back to doing paused sumo on this day and then my primary sumo on the weekend. And I'm excited to see how it goes. Now, last block did notice my hips weren't particularly enjoying sumo, so this could be a very short-lived experiment. But I've decided to just go all in on sumo. I was very close to just doing 1 day of each and just literally having both in there and just kind of seeing which one I end up feeling more confident on. Now, if I get to the end of this 6 weeks and I'm like, oh, I don't think this was the right choice, then I'll do that, right? There is no rush. There is no rush to this, and it will all make me stronger in the long run anyway. The accessory movements I've added in are absolutely going to tailor to or are tailored to my weak points. I'm really struggling to explain myself today. They're tailored to my weak points anyway. So overall, I'm going to be getting stronger and building what I need to be building to get a bigger deadlift. But I think going all in on sumo and just committing to that is probably the best move, because also I don't like pulling conventional. Something about it I just find really irritating, and I don't ever look forward to it. So I'm like, okay, let's just lean into sumo. My sumo got to a really good point around British last year. I pulled the easiest 185 I think I've ever pulled at British after only committing to it for 8 weeks. So I think I just need to lean into that. I'm healthy again and just go with it. And the main thing for me is just making sure I look after my hips as well. So there's things I can do to make it as efficient as possible. I think it feels, when I pull sumo and I pull conventional, sumo feels easier. So I'm going to lean into that and we're going to just go from there. It's not going to be hard to switch back if I change my mind. So basically that was just to say, I am doing sumo twice a week, no conventional for now. So today's plan is very easy session or very quick session. 3x5 comp bench, 87.5 kilos. That is the set load that I will be using for the next 6 weeks. And then pause sumo, 4x2 today, just at 135. Now, wondering how my hips are going to feel with paused sumo, but when I looked back at programming I did when I was working with Lewis, my previous coach, my best block was when I pulled 155 for 7 on sumo. And I paused, I think, 180 for a single as well before the 155. And on my secondary day, we were just doing pause doubles. So I was like, let's just repeat that. Let's just lean into that, because I do think there is a lot of room for me to improve my sumo technique, dial it in further, and doing some pause work earlier in the week will help me with my positioning off the floor and just overall patience anyway, which I'm not a patient person, so that's something that I definitely need. So that's the plan. And then I just have some lower body accessories to get done after. And then I'm going to get in and get showered and get ready to go out for dinner. And it's going to be a really sweaty session because I'm already sweating and I've not started yet. But that's all fine. It shouldn't take too long, which is good. I can probably get this done in sub 1 hour. I actually set a timer for yesterday's session. I'm probably going to do the same for today, because I think if I set a timer, it just stops me from doing any procrastinating. Like I just kind of go, which is good. It's what we want. I want to just get my session done, especially on week 1 of a block. I think if I get the first sessions of like the first couple of weeks of a block done when it's quite light, when it then gets to that heavier week and I have a little bit longer rest, I think I feel the benefits of it a lot more. Also today, I do have a cardio circuit to do at the end, which is something I introduced last week on this session that I really, really enjoyed. Essentially just like a 10-minute timer, 30 seconds of a core movement, 30 seconds of some kind of bodyweight cardio movement, like a burpee or something like that, for 10 minutes. And if I need to rest, I'll just have 30 seconds of rest where I need it. But last week, I think I managed to do pretty much the whole 10 minutes with maybe 1 rest break in there. So happy with that. I also introduced rowing machine sprints at the weekend as well, which I really, really enjoyed. And actually, I'm going to be going to the commercial gym twice a week now anyway, and it will be 2 days in a row. So it might interfere with my primary bench, but I think I would like to maybe do those twice a week. So we'll see. But just kind of want to feel a bit fitter in my body. And I think doing these like at home circuits as well just gets my body moving in ways that I've neglected, and just gets me kind of literally just bouncing around a little bit, which sounds really silly possibly, but it just gets me moving and feeling more mobile and agile in myself, which is something I've missed. Like I was always so athletic and I just don't feel that way at the moment. And I want to bring that back. So that's why I'm going to do that. Anyway, let's stop talking and let's get the session done.
Okay. All I see across the room, X marked on the spot, everybody tryna zoom. But this is casual, another night with the wolves, but I should be dealing with them, she's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told, yeah she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust, now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now, she's living in my head rent free. Burning through my long-term memory, everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now.
Okay, session complete. Really enjoyed it actually. Took me just under an hour, which I think is pretty good. I was setting a timer to try and like get myself to go through it quite quickly, and then I realized I was just going slow regardless. But this session isn't anything heavy, so it's not anything that really takes me too long. I can kind of just have minimal rest anyway. But that's an hour including my HIIT circuit at the end, so I was very proud of that. Bench felt fine. Deadlifts felt fine. I will say, just because it's so hot and humid, like as I was benching, my hands kept sliding. Deadlifts felt fine, apart from my nails kept getting caught on my thighs, which was really annoying, but it's fine. My positioning and everything felt good though, and every set kind of, it just felt a little bit better each set. So I do think like my hips felt fine and everything, so I think I've made the right call just going all in on sumo. Like I'm just gonna go for it. With my HIIT circuit, I'm very impressed. Same as when I rode the other day, I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm very impressed with my fitness levels where they're currently at. Like I thought they would be diabolical. I mean, I did a HIIT circuit last week and it was fine. But when I did my rowing sprint at the weekend, like I managed to maintain my pace the entire time. I was doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And actually I felt like I could just keep going. So it's not, I would probably say I was giving it like 85% effort so that I didn't gas out too early. And yeah, I felt really good. And I felt like my heart rate was coming down pretty well in between as well. And I feel the exact same for today. So I'm very happy with that. And like, obviously I walk a lot and I'm generally fairly active. So I'm not too surprised by that. There's also a plane going off above us, so ignore that if you hear it in the background. But yeah, I'm actually really impressed with where my fitness levels are at, and it's making me feel better already. Doing that circuit in this heat wasn't so fun, but I survived. It's all fine. I'm just gonna head indoors now, kind of cool off. I'm gonna include Friday's session, well, tomorrow's session that would usually be a Friday in this video as well, just so you guys can see the main split of the week, although I haven't really changed anything on that. It's just my tempo bench tomorrow, but I'm gonna include that in this video as well, just so you can see like the full week of the first week on my new block. But I'm really happy with this day. I'm feeling good. My lower back doesn't feel any worse after doing sumo. It kind of feels the same, maybe slightly better since doing all the other movements as well. So that's good. No notice at all in my hamstrings. So we're on to a winner. We are definitely on to a winner. Okay, so it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday afternoon. My week is so out of whack because I'm training on different days. It's Wednesday afternoon. It is literally 2:30. I'm on really good track today to get things done in good time. I'm using this as kind of like my break from my work day. I've then got to quickly have a shower, go to a food shop, and then I've got to get back, take our dog to the vets. I've got a podcast this evening. I'm going to do some programming and stuff as well. I should have time to do that before the podcast. It's been a really good day though. I've been at my desk since about 8 o'clock this morning. We are in a heat wave, which is why I look the way that I do. It's like over 30 degrees today, and obviously it's midday, so it's like peak heat right now. The UK is not equipped for this weather. I am not equipped for this weather. I like the cold. I like being able to just wear loads of layers, wrap up, and just be comfortable. So yeah, I'm also running on like no sleep because last night I got to sleep about 10. I was actually so exhausted when I went to bed last night, but it was so hot. I was like, you know what? I'm so tired. I think I'll be fine. I'll just fall asleep and like sleep through it. But I literally woke up at midnight and I was like, okay, no, I'm way too hot. I literally can't sleep in our bedroom because our bedroom's upstairs and it just literally turns into a furnace. So I ended up sleeping on the sofa, which I'm too old to be sleeping on the sofa anyway. Not good for me. Not good for my back. Not good for my hips. Not good for my neck. But that doesn't mean that Zuko, our dog, was also in there with me. And it was actually really cute because he jumped straight up and literally like, he first of all laid in the ball by my legs. And then he literally 2 seconds later, he got up and literally made himself a little spoon. And it was just really, really cute. Obviously it was really hot, so not ideal. But I wasn't going to turn that down. It was really sweet. But about 4 a.m, he decided it was time to get up and he was just ready to start the day, which obviously I was not ready to start the day at 4 a.m. But I then basically just didn't get any more sleep really. So struggling a lot. Also haven't been for a walk yet today because it's literally just way too hot to take him out. So what I'm probably going to do is I've got a podcast this evening. So once that's done, depending on the time and the weather, if it's cool enough, I'll take him out in the woods, but I don't think it's going to be cool enough. Like I think it's probably still going to be like 25 plus degrees. So what I will probably do is I'll just go for a little stroll myself, just a small one to get some steps in because I don't even know where my steps are at. I don't want to look. But what I will say is it's actually been a really good day. Other than me struggling with the heat, as you can definitely tell looking at me, I woke up to the loveliest message ever this morning. So someone that I was like a friend within like the fitness kind of powerlifting space, that she just sent me a message really out of the blue. And she was like, it was a voice note. She's like, I just wanted to say, like, I was just thinking about you because this person's not in the best place with their job and stuff at the moment. They're kind of looking at making a change. And we were briefly speaking about it the other day. And they were like, you're just a girl's girl. I just thought about how, like, you know, you'll always cheer on other women and encourage them to go after things and like share around what they're doing. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, why would I not do that? And it just like, it was a really nice message to wake up to. And it made me think, like, I don't know if I've spoken about this too much on here, but when I started off with coaching and like I wanted to do, my life I'm living now is what I've wanted for a decade, essentially, right? And it's taken me a long time to build it up. And it's taken me longer than it needed to because I didn't have the confidence to just go after it like I do now. And a big part of that is because when I was younger, the people I was surrounded by didn't really encourage me to go after what I wanted and like didn't encourage me to, they didn't make me feel like it was a realistic thing for me to go after or like encourage me to work hard or anything like that. Like I'm thankful I come from a really hardworking family. So like it just kind of instilled in me to just kind of keep going and working towards stuff. But like a lot of the people in my area as well that were like powerlifters and like coaching a little bit, whatever else, they would have spent like a few months trying to be this successful online coach, obviously failing because they've only done it for a couple of months. And then they would make out as if they failed, there's no chance I was going to succeed and stuff like that. And like, I just didn't get a lot of support from local people when I was younger. And I feel like I would never want someone else to feel that way. So whenever anyone I know is like going after something or like creating a new business or trying to better their life in some way, like obviously I'm going to support that and encourage that. And I remember I was having this conversation ages ago with someone and I remember just saying like one of the best things you can do is just be a cheerleader for everyone around you. Like if one of my friends has some crazy random idea that they want to try and do something, I will absolutely sit there and encourage them to go for it because like what have you got to lose? And it was just a really nice way to start my day and it just made me feel really good. And it just reminded me of like how little support I got back when I was younger and how I would hate for anyone around me to ever feel that way. So I just wanted to make sure that like I put out to other people how I wish I was treated when I was kind of starting something. And it was just a really nice feeling having someone just really randomly out of the blue just acknowledge it. And like, yeah, it just made me feel happy. And I just wanted to be a reminder to people to like bigging up other people's ventures and success will not take away from yours. I've had people ask me in the past, like with the podcast, and when I have coaches on the podcast, I will always say to them, now, kind of no matter who it is, I'm like, oh, you know, have you got any coaching spaces? If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you? That sort of thing. And I've had people ask me before, they're like, why are you getting coaches to do that when you have spaces and you want more business? And I'm like, because if they want to work with this other person, then they don't want to work with me. And that's okay, because the people that want to work with me will come to work with me. Like, I don't need to dim someone else to be successful in myself, if that makes sense. Like, I think a lot of it comes from people, like, if they do feel like they need to protect that sort of thing, it comes from a place of like feeling threatened almost. But like, I don't feel threatened in what I do because I know I'm great at what I do. So the people that want to work with me will find their way to work with me. If people listen to my podcast and I have a guest on, they're like, oh, you know what? Like, I really like the sound of this guy, like, or girl, or whoever it is. Like, oh, I'd love to work with them. That's great. Like, that's a really good thing. Like, yeah. And I just think people that go through life kind of scared to celebrate other people's successes because they think it's going to impact their own, I just think that's a really sad way to live. And yeah, let's be a lesson. Pick up those around you, because also it's cool to support our friends and the people that we care about. Like, that's what we literally should be doing. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice thing. It literally just started my day, even though I felt awful when I woke up today, receiving that within like the first hour of me waking up, which is really, really lovely. Really, really lovely. And it put me in a good mood. So yeah, but now I need to train, and I'm proud of the time that I'm training. I should be done by like 5 past 3, which gives me so much time to get done what I need to. And yeah.
Stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, is that a wink? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention, she's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous.
I am a mess, but session done in just under half an hour, so I'm happy with that. I've literally, I can't stop sweating. But it's fine. I'm going to go in, get in the shower, head out and do a food shop and just get that done as quickly as possible. So I can get back and take Zuko, who is currently adventuring the garden, to the vets just for a 6-month checkup. Get back, film podcast with Matt Gary, which I'm hoping to get out next week. I have got another one that I can put out next week, but I think that would probably be more relevant to get out quicker. So we'll see. But I'm feeling good. Session went well. I was slipping on the bench the entire time, doing tempo when it's this hot, and I'm just literally slipping. To be honest, I probably would have been better off with a t-shirt and chalk on my back rather than just putting a little bit of chalk like on the bench where I was sticking, because I did just slide the whole time. But it's fine. It was light enough. Didn't really matter. Yeah, I'm not too stressed. This was my 4th day in a row benching, 6th day in a row training, I think. And I'm feeling pretty good for it, to be fair. I didn't know how I was going to hold up. My lower back today is still feeling like similar to how it did yesterday, but no worse after deadlifting yesterday or squatting yesterday. So I'm not too mad by that. Here he is. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not too mad by that. It is what it is. But just, yeah, all is good. Nothing else to really say. It's been a good day. I mean, I'm struggling in the heat, but like, it's been a pretty good day. I'm feeling kind of back to my routine, although I am out of routine this week because I am away this weekend. Like, I'm away at a combo weekend, so it's not something that I'm not familiar with, so it's fine. I just feel like I'm kind of back to somewhat normal scheduling, other than obviously moving training days around. But I'm looking forward to next week where I'm actually fully back in routine and I can kind of get back to my actual normal schedule. I think that'll be good. And I think the weather's supposed to cool down next week, which means even like not being on a normal dog walking schedule just stresses me out, because when am I getting my steps in? But that is obviously just a minimal issue right now. Like, I'm not too stressed about that. Also, I need him to stop doing that. But yeah, it's fine. Anyway, the devil has come to life. So I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you very much if you've made it to the end. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.
Tryna find an opening. Roll the dice, cold sweat running down my neck. She be on the next fake time. Get caught in a web. Got these fellas spending all they got left. She be keeping the scar like a follow ratio. Got these fellas praying to the Lord for a glimpse of any.